G'day, hi, welcome. Alright, survey says, wipers aren't frozen. Let's do a round 3. And a 4. And a 5. Alright, that's pretty good. I can see-ish. Engaging silver pellet. Now we're done with you. Alright, so I got a little blindsided this morning. I wasn't supposed to be leaving for about another hour, but I just got a call and said, yeah, he said, I got the trailer early. I said, okay, I'll be there. A little job to do. Hopefully it doesn't throw up my back today, moving couches and stuff. We'll see. We'll see. Put some of that heat on my fingers. My fingers are cold. So it was supposed to freeze and rain today. I definitely did some window scraping this morning. We got a little bit of freezing rain last night. It was supposed to be freezing rain today, so hopefully we don't get that. We got a little bit of snow instead, but it was more like ice pellets. I cannot see. I'm going to lose the front end of my car. Look out, bird! Bird, look out! Bird! Get off the road! We nearly committed pigeonicide. It's crazy. Well, if I had to live out in this kind of weather too, I'd probably be questioning whether I wanted to carry on. I was like, the weather sucks. They just ended for me to drive the other way. Like they're literally right there, but like there's no road down on that end. You got to go from the other end, right? And so it's kind of one of those things where you're close but far. You know what I mean? But it's still closer than the other place, and it's easier in some ways to get to, as long as the road is plowed. So them, it seems like they're going to be pretty flexible with the time. With them, it seems like where it's going to be, you know, they're not going to be available most weekends or every second week because they play live, which is the kind of band I'm looking for, is people that want to play live a lot, right? But it also sounds like, you know, they can only do, you know, like two shows every 2 weeks is kind of like, you know, what they can handle. And like I say, when I was in my 20s, I was playing 4 nights a week, right? And that is hard. That is hard, no matter who you are, especially if you drink. You know, I don't drink anymore, but still, 4 nights a week is, you know, it's the traveling, it's the setting up, the tearing down, the getting home at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's what's hard. You know, like the actual playing, it does fatigue you. Like after like your, you got to think that's like 16 hours of guitar playing in 1 week if you do a show, because it's like 3 hours, it's an hour a set, right? So you do 4 shows a week, that's like 16 hours of playing. Your hands just get fatigued, especially if you do it week after week. I didn't do it for very long where it was 4 days a week, but you know, like kind of like the summer. Hey, I was able to see out of that. Not so much now. I just better reduce my speed a bit until I can see again. Ah, there we go. I can see. I got windshield washer fluid, but lots of that. But why waste it? It's daytime. I can see. Sort of. You might have to use a little bit. Okay, the other side's frozen. Go figure. Go figure. I just keep it going until it clears. But yeah, so it's I'm pretty excited anyway. Now if I can get a hold of a bass player to drum, now they have a bass player, and with this other guy I might be able to, he says he can get a drummer and a bass player, or at least it sounds like he can.